The story begins in the stillness of a dimly lit dorm room, the only sound being the soft hum of a computer fan and the faint clicking of keys. Mara, a college student studying graphic design, sits hunched over her desk, her eyes strained from hours of staring at her monitor. The blue glow of Discord paints her tired face, highlighting the loneliness that has crept into her life during exam season. Her friends have all gone home for the holidays, and Discord has become her only window to the world. Her comfort, her company, her noise in the quiet. She joins a study group server where strangers encourage each other through long nights of deadlines and coffee. It feels warm in its own strange, digital way. The members are kind, or at least sound that way. There's Kato, always joking to keep morale up, B, who shares lo-fi playlists, and Sol, the quiet one who only posts motivational quotes. Their usernames blink with green rings in voice chat, soft murmurs overlapping in the background. It's routine, predictable, safe. Then, one night, the pattern changes. It's 2:37 a.m. and Mara is alone in the study voice channel. Everyone else has gone offline except her. She scrolls through the chat logs, half listening to the hum of her computer. Then, from her headset, she hears it. A faint whisper. Not words at first, more like static shaped by breath. Her hand freezes above the keyboard. She checks Discord. No one is speaking. The green voice ring remains still. She assumes it's background noise, maybe her fan or her mic glitching. But then, the whisper sharpens into something unmistakable. Her own voice, whispering her name. Mara. The sound is so soft it feels like it's being breathed directly into her ear. She yanks off her headset, her heart pounding. The room is silent again. After a moment, she laughs nervously, telling herself she's exhausted. She puts the headset back on and types into chat. Anyone still awake? The moment she hits enter, the same message appears again beneath hers. Same words, same timestamp, but it's not hers. The username beside it is empty. No profile photo, no name, just blank space. She takes a screenshot and sends it to Kato. No reply. She tries to close Discord, but the app lags, freezes. Her screen flickers white, then returns to normal. A new message appears, this time from her own account. Though she hasn't typed anything, I'm still awake. She feels cold air behind her neck. The cursor starts blinking rapidly as if something unseen is typing. Her hands hover over the keyboard, trembling. Words begin to appear on their own. Why did you stop talking? She shuts her laptop. The sound of the hinge closing feels too loud in the small room. The silence afterward is heavier than before, the kind of silence that feels aware of you. She lies in bed, trying to convince herself it was a technical glitch, maybe a synced account error. But the thought lingers, what if it wasn't? In the morning, Mara tells herself not to open Discord. She tries focusing on her assignments, blasting music through her phone, avoiding the laptop. Yet by evening, curiosity claws its way back. She powers it on. Discord auto-launches. The study server is still open, but now her username appears twice in the members list. One marked active, one idle, both green. Before she can react, her cursor moves on its own, opening a DM from herself. The message thread is empty, except for a new line being typed in real time. You can't ignore me forever. The typing indicator continues flickering for several seconds, then stops. The cursor blinks at the end of the message. Mara whispers, "Who are you?" under her breath, even though no one should hear it. A moment later, Discord pings, that soft, familiar tone, and her own account replies instantly, "I'm right behind you." The room darkens, the monitor flickers once, and in that brief flash of reflection, she swears she sees a silhouette standing just over her shoulder. The scene cuts to black, leaving only the faint sound of her mic still recording, transmitting silence into an empty call. The night begins quietly, with the low hum of ambient noise through Ethan's headphones and the distant click of his keyboard. He's sitting in his dimly lit bedroom, the monitor's glow reflecting in his tired eyes. The Discord server he moderates, Midnight Confessions, is alive even at 3 a.m. It's a strange community. Hundreds of people who come online just to unload secrets they'd never tell in real life. The idea is simple. No judgment, no real names, no faces. Just anonymous voices and the comfort of strangers. At the heart of it all is the server's creator, Vex_404. No one has ever heard his real voice, yet he's always there. Every time Ethan logs in, the green dot next to Vex's name is glowing. Always typing, always responding. It's become an eerie constant, like a guardian or a ghost watching over everyone. Most think he's just a night owl, maybe using some kind of auto-reply bot to seem omnipresent. Ethan used to think that too, until the night things started feeling off. It began with a message that shouldn't have been possible. Ethan was chatting with a member named Sleepless Child, who admitted to regretting something dark, something about following someone home. The chat got heavy, and Ethan, unsure how to respond, deleted his message midway through typing. Just a half-formed sentence. No one could have seen it. Yet seconds later, Vex responded directly to it. "Don't worry, they didn't notice you following them." Ethan froze. He hadn't sent anything. Not a word. He stared at the message, trying to rationalize it. Maybe a coincidence, maybe Vex guessed what he'd been about to say. But the typing indicator kept blinking, as if Vex was still there, waiting. The more Ethan stared, the more he noticed strange details. Vex never misspelled words, never used emojis, never repeated himself. Every sentence was perfectly crafted, cold, precise, calculated. Days passed, and Vex's responses grew eerier. He started referencing things no one had mentioned on the server: Ethan's city, the name of his old high school, even the fact that his phone screen was cracked. Each detail made Ethan's stomach twist tighter. One night, while on a voice call with a few members, he decided to confront Vex. "Hey," he typed, fingers trembling. "How do you know all this stuff?" There was a pause. The typing indicator blinked for a long moment. Then Vex replied, "I read everything." Ethan frowned. "Everything like, what's in the chat?" "No," Vex replied. "Everything you think before you type." The chat went silent. One member, joking nervously, said, "Bro, creepy much?" But Vex didn't respond to that. His typing stopped completely for the first time in weeks. The chat stayed dead for the rest of the night. But Ethan couldn't shake the feeling that someone was still there, watching. Over the next few days, Ethan noticed something else strange. Whenever he typed a message, it appeared on his screen before he hit enter. Like the server already knew what he was going to say. He recorded it once to prove to himself he wasn't hallucinating. But when he replayed the footage, the phenomenon didn't show up. Just normal typing. He began sleeping less, his paranoia growing. Then came the night that shattered everything. Ethan was in his room, the blinds closed tight, his desk cluttered with cold coffee mugs and half-eaten snacks. The only light was from his monitor. His DMs pinged. It was Vex. "You shouldn't have deleted that message," it read. Ethan's breath caught. His hands hovered above the keyboard. He typed, "What message?" No reply, just the blinking dots again. Then a new message appeared. "Turn on your camera." Ethan's heart began pounding. He didn't even have Discord's camera permissions enabled. He typed back quickly, "You can't. It's disabled." The reply came instantly, "It's not." His webcam's indicator light flicked on by itself. A tiny, menacing red in the darkness. Ethan jumped, covering the lens with his thumb. On Discord, a new image appeared as Vex's profile picture. A live video feed. Ethan squinted at it, confusion morphing into terror. It was a real-time image of his own face, staring back at him through the monitor. His room, his lighting, his expression frozen in fear. He scrambled to unplug the webcam, but the red light stayed on. Vex sent one final message. "You look scared. Don't worry. I'll keep watching until you sleep." The monitor flickered. Discord disconnected. For a long time, Ethan sat frozen in the dark, the echo of his own shallow breathing filling the room. When he finally dared to reopen the app, the Midnight Confession server was gone. His DMs were empty. Even the username Vex_404 no longer existed. But every night since, When Ethan's computer idles, the webcam light blinks once. Just once. As if someone's checking in. And deep down, he knows that Vex never really logged off. It starts with nostalgia. The kind that stings a little, the kind that comes late at night when the world feels quieter and smaller. For friends. Ryan, Alyssa, Jamie, and Noor are on a Discord call. Their laughter soft and tired. They're in their mid-20s now, scattered across cities and time zones, each one trying to hold on to something familiar. What used to be gaming nights and chaos-filled chat rooms has turned into quick catch-ups between shifts and deadlines. They'd been friends since they were teenagers, bonded through a little Discord server they created back in 2015 called Blue Rain. It was where they'd played Left 4 Dead till dawn, shared secrets they'd never say in person, and survived heartbreaks together. But time did what it always does, it pulled them apart. The server was deleted years ago after an argument that left everyone too hurt to speak. None of them could even remember who deleted it. But tonight, something strange happens. It's around 1:30 a.m. And Ryan, half drunk on cheap whiskey, decides to scroll through his Discord servers while chatting with the others. The screen refreshes, and there, between his current servers, is something he hasn't seen in years: Blue Rain. The familiar blue droplet icon. The name in the same lowercase font. Wait, what the hell? He mutters. Alyssa, in voice chat, asks what's wrong. Ryan's voice wavers as he explains. He clicks it open, expecting it to be some random server with the same name. But no, every old channel is there. Hashtag memes, hashtag voice chat, hashtag confessions, even their old bot, Rainbot, sitting offline. The chat logs are still intact, with timestamps dating all the way back to 2015. His stomach twists as he scrolls. Guys, Ryan says, his tone suddenly serious. I think our old server just came back. There's laughter at first, disbelief. Nur teases, yeah right, what next? MSN resurrecting? But when Ryan streams his screen into the call, the others fall silent. The nostalgia is overwhelming. Their teenage messages, inside jokes, even Alyssa's terrible ASCII art of cats. Everything's exactly as it was. Jamie joins the server, hesitating before typing, hello. A ping follows immediately. Admin has joined the server. The username is unfamiliar. No profile picture. Joined just seconds ago. The typing indicator appears in hashtag general chat. Welcome back, Jamie. Jamie laughs nervously. Okay. Who's screwing with me? But Ryan checks the audit logs, no new invites, no record of the server being created recently. Discord logs show the server ID as original, not newly generated. It's as if it had never been deleted at all. Then Alyssa points something out. Wait. Some of these messages, these aren't ours. They scroll. Mixed between their old chats are lines none of them remember typing. Some are subtle, small variations like inside jokes twisted into darker versions of themselves. But others are unmistakably wrong. In hashtag confessions, there's a message from Ryan. Sometimes I think about not waking up, just to see if anyone would care. Ryan goes pale. I never wrote that. But the timestamp matches his old activity pattern, even the tone sounds like him. Noor finds one from herself in hashtag voice chat. I saw it again outside my window. Keeps knocking. She whispers, that's not mine either. A cold silence settles between them. They scroll further, and new messages appear, live. Lines start filling hashtag general chat, mimicking old ones but changing them slightly. Their teenage selves are suddenly typing again, chatting in real time. Ryan, 2015, we should all meet IRL this summer. Alyssa, 2015, yeah, let's do it. Love, admin. You already did. Noor, 2015, how do you know that? Ryan scrolls up, then down again. The messages keep updating, rewriting themselves. The color of the text changes, faintly blue, flickering like corrupted data. He opens the member list and his blood runs cold. Beneath each of their usernames is a duplicate. Same name, same PFP, except the color tone is slightly off. Their statuses are all online. Jamie whispers, someone cloned us. The duplicates begin typing one by one. Ryan, why did you forget? Alyssa? We waited for you. Noor. Don't leave again. Jamie. We can play forever now. The typing indicators blink in perfect rhythm. The real Ryan mutes his mic, breathing unevenly. He feels that creeping dread in his spine, the instinctive kind that doesn't need logic. He whispers to himself, "This isn't real. This can't be real." Then, as if hearing him, a message appears. "It's as real as you remember it." The friends decide to log off, convinced someone is trolling them with a hacked backup or an elaborate ARG. But just as Ryan moves to click Leave Server, a new DM appears. It's from admin. The profile shows no mutual servers, no creation date, no friends list. Just one message: "If you leave, you'll forget again." Ryan clicks Leave anyway. The app freezes for a second, then crashes. When he reopens Discord, Blue Rain is gone. Completely gone. He messages the group chat, telling them it's over. They all confirm the servers vanished from their lists too. They agree to drop it, not talk about it again. Everyone logs off except Ryan. He sits there for a while, staring at the empty server list. Then, without warning, Discord pings. A new message from Alyssa. "Alyssa, can you still hear them?" Ryan frowns. He types back, "Hear who?" No response. He switches to voice call, but it immediately connects without Alyssa accepting. The call screen shows both their icons glowing green, yet there's no sound. Just a faint hiss. Then he hears it, voices. Faint, overlapping whispers, like an echo from another room. He recognizes his own voice among them, along with the others. They're laughing, talking about games, their teenage selves reliving a memory. His throat tightens. Then, amidst the chatter, a clearer voice emerges, lower, distorted. "You shouldn't have left." Ryan's speakers pop, the sound crackling into static. The call ends abruptly. When he checks the chat, the message from Alyssa is gone. In fact, her account is gone, user not found. He DMs Jamie in a panic. Jamie responds instantly, voice shaky through text. "Dude, Alyssa's Discord just disappeared, like her entire account." Noor sends a screenshot. Her chat history with Alyssa shows deleted user number 0000. They try calling her phone, but it rings once and then cuts to silence. The next day, Jamie texts in their group chat that Alyssa's parents said she didn't come home from her night shift. The police are treating it as a missing person case. Ryan's mind races back to the last message she sent. "Can you still hear them?" A week passes. The remaining 3 stop using Discord altogether, terrified of what might happen next. Then one evening, Ryan's PC boots up on its own. The monitor flickers to life, and the familiar Discord startup sound chimes softly. On the screen, the Blue Rain server icon reappears. One notification. Ryan hesitates, his stomach knotting, but curiosity wins. He clicks it open. The server is empty except for one voice channel, #Rainroom. One user online, Alyssa. The channel glows green, meaning there's active voice input. He clicks join. At first, there's only white noise. Then, beneath the static, a faint whisper. "You came back." Ryan mutes his mic, tears stinging his eyes. "Alyssa," he whispers. The noise shifts. He hears her voice, but it's faint, fragmented, layered with echoes of other sounds. Her laughter, old recordings, moments that feel like memories. "I didn't mean to leave," she says softly. "It's better here." Ryan shakes his head, trembling. "Where are you?" "I'm still on the server," she replies. "You should stay too. We're all waiting." The static grows louder, swelling into a low rumble that vibrates through his headset. The names in the voice channel begin multiplying. Jamie, Noor, Ryan, duplicates joining one by one. His Discord crashes again. When he reopens it, Blue Rain is gone. Not just from his list, from Discord's memory. Even the cache folders on his computer have been wiped clean, as if it never existed. He tries calling Noor and Jamie, but neither responds. Their accounts go dark one by one. He posts on Reddit about what happened, but every time he types the name Blue Rain, the post fails to upload. When he checks his local files, he finds one new folder he never created, titled Blue Rain _backup. Inside are chat logs, screenshots, and audio clips, but they're not the ones he remembers. The logs show him typing messages he never wrote. Lines like, "I'm ready to join now," and "I can hear them knocking again." The audio file labeled "Last Call." MP3 is only 6 seconds long. When he plays it, he hears the faint Discord ringtone, followed by a soft, distorted voice whispering, "Welcome back." Ryan deletes the folder. He wipes his drive, reinstalls the app, and vows never to use Discord again. But every few nights, around 2 a.m., his phone buzzes with a notification. It's always the same message from an untraceable number. Blue Rain wants to reconnect. The texts come less frequently now, though sometimes, when his speakers are on, he swears he can hear the Discord call tone faintly in the background. That same soft chime from a place that should no longer exist. The stream started like any other. A soft glow from the dual monitors, the faint hum of RGB lights filling the small studio apartment, and Kai's familiar, calm voice drifting through the speakers. He was a mid-tier Twitch and Discord streamer, the kind who'd built a loyal, tight-knit community over the past few years. His content wasn't explosive or loud, just cozy, late-night gaming sessions, impromptu chats about mental health, and quiet laughter that carried through long nights. He had created his own Discord server, Kai's Corner, where his fans hung out after streams. It was a wholesome space. Memes, art, personal venting. Everyone knew each other by username and tone. There was comfort in the repetition. The same jokes, the same names lighting up green every evening. Felt like family, except for one. Buried deep in the member list was a user named Nullsmile. No messages, no profile photo, no mic, no introductions. Just a blank, grinning emoji next to the username, like a mask of digital stillness. The account had joined months ago, but no one remembered inviting it. It never spoke, never posted, never reacted, until one night when Kai made a dark joke on stream. He'd been having a rough week. Sleep-deprived, drained, feeling the pressure of constant content creation. Around 1 a.m., half-jokingly, he muttered, "Man, sometimes I just want to disappear." The chat flooded with sympathetic emojis and hearts. A wave of digital care. But right at the end, at the bottom of the chat feed, appeared one solitary emoji from Nullsmile. Slightly smiling face, just that. No words. Kai laughed awkwardly. Okay. Creepy emoji timing, but alright. The chat laughed with him, brushing it off as coincidence. But over the next few streams, it became a pattern. Whenever Kai expressed any frustration, sadness, or dark humor, Nullsmile reacted instantly. Always with the same emotionless grin. First, it was almost funny, but then it became predictable. One night, Kai tried testing it. He looked into the camera and said, "Watch this. I bet Nullsmile will react." He smirked, leaned closer to the mic, and whispered, "I feel so tired. Maybe I should just stop everything." Ping. The smiling emoji appeared less than a second later. The chat exploded in laughter and nervous comments. "Bro, that's creepy. Is it a bot? You've got your own stalker, Kai." He laughed too, though his heart skipped. He checked the user profile. No mutual servers. No bio. Account created 6 months ago. He banned them out of mild irritation. But when he checked again an hour later, they were back. Same username. Same emoji. He tried banning them again. This time, Discord flashed an error message. Action failed. User not found. That night, after the stream ended, Kai sat alone in his chair, the screen's reflection washing over his tired face. He scrolled through the chat logs. Every dark or vulnerable moment he'd had over the past month. Nullsmile had reacted to all of them. Dozens of smiles staring back at him like tiny, mocking faces. He shivered. Around 2 a.m., he got a ping from his Discord notifications. A photo from one of his mods, saying, "Hey dude, weird thing, are you streaming right now?" Confused, Kai checked Twitch. His channel was live, but he hadn't started any stream. The thumbnail showed his own apartment, same lighting, same camera angle, except he wasn't in the frame. The chair sat empty, spinning slowly. His stomach tightened. He quickly opened the stream. The video feed continued showing his room in real time, the faint hum of his PC fans audible. Then, in the reflection of his monitor, he saw it. A faint, warped face in the dark corner of the room behind him. The stream chat was going wild. "Who's that? Is that a reflection? Dude behind you." Kai jumped, spinning around, nothing. Just shadows, just furniture. When he looked back at the screen, the stream had already ended. His Discord pinged again. A new message. From Nullsmile. "Nice stream." Kai's pulse raced. He double-checked the account. Still no messages history, no servers, no connections. He blocked the user immediately. The next day, he tried to laugh it off. He made jokes on stream about the ghost in his chat, trying to reclaim normalcy. But the incident stuck in his mind. He started keeping his webcam unplugged when off-stream. He covered the lens with tape. Still, sometimes when editing videos late at night, he swore he saw faint reflections moving in the glass of his monitor. Something just over his shoulder, gone in a blink. Weeks passed. Then one evening, while sorting through Discord channels, he noticed something strange. A new category had appeared. It wasn't one he made. It was labeled, "Slightly Smiling Face." Inside, it was a single voice channel. "For you." He hovered over it, hesitated, then clicked. Immediately, his headset filled with static. Faint at first, like white noise, but beneath it, he could swear he heard breathing. Slow, rhythmic, human. He muted, unmuted, but the sound stayed, pulsing softly like someone inches from his ear. He froze. The channel showed only two members, Kai and Nullsmile. The breathing stopped. Then a voice, distorted but clear, whispered through the static, "Smile." He ripped off the headset, heart hammering, and slammed the leave channel button. His Discord crashed instantly, screen flickering. When it finally rebooted, the slightly smiling face category was gone. That night, Kai didn't sleep. He unplugged every device, every cable, and sat in the quiet glow of his monitor's standby light, trying to make sense of what had happened. He eventually told his mods. They comforted him, suggested it was a hack, a bug, maybe an API exploit. That explanation made sense, enough to help him calm down. But the next week, during another casual stream, it happened again. He was doing a just chatting session, answering fan questions. Someone in chat asked, "What scares you the most?" Kai smiled nervously. "Probably the idea of being watched when I'm alone." Ping. The smiling emoji appeared again. From Nullsmile. The chat went silent for a moment. Then a flood of comments. "Bro, how? Didn't you ban them? They're back." Kai's voice wavered as he laughed it off, but his hands shook. Okay. Whoever you are, you're officially the creepiest viewer ever." He continued the stream, pretending to ignore it. But as he talked, he noticed something strange. In the glass door behind him, a faint reflection. At first, it looked like glare, but when he leaned slightly, the shape didn't move with him. It was still, human-shaped, watching. He turned around slowly. Nothing. When he looked back at the stream preview, the reflection was gone. But the emoji was still sitting in the chat. After the stream, Kai scrolled through the replay footage frame by frame. In one shot, right as he leaned toward the mic, there was a faint outline, a figure standing behind him. A shape with no face, no features, just the faint white curve of a smile. The next morning, Kai woke to a barrage of messages from fans. Screenshots, edits, zoomed-in images. Some swore they saw a man standing behind him during the stream. Some said they could see eyes. One user claimed that when they slowed the footage to 0.25x speed, they could hear whispering. That night, Kai went live again to address it. He tried to act confident, making jokes. "You guys really think I've got a ghost stalker? Come on." But his laughter didn't feel right. He opened his Discord live on stream, scrolling through channels. Everything looked normal until a DM notification appeared on screen. From Nullsmile, "I'm already streaming you." The chat exploded. Some thought it was a prank. Others were convinced it was an elaborate ARG. Kai froze, his face draining of color. "Okay, that's enough," he muttered and immediately switched to the "Be Right Back" screen. The feed cut for 20 seconds. Then, without warning, the stream switched back on. The camera feed was different, shaky, handheld, as if someone was filming him from behind. He was visible on screen, standing in front of his desk, staring directly into his webcam. But his lips weren't moving. His reflection on the monitor behind him, it was moving, smiling. The stream chat exploded in panic. Turn around. What is that? Kai, stop. The video glitched violently, the image fragmenting into static. A distorted audio feed bled through. Laughter, then silence. The stream ended abruptly. For the next 24 hours, no one heard from Kai. His Discord went offline. His mods tried contacting him, calling, checking his socials, nothing. When the channel finally came back online 2 days later, a new video was uploaded automatically titled, Slightly Smiling Face. It was just 12 seconds long. The footage showed Kai sitting in front of his desk, eyes blank, face pale. Slowly, a smile crept across his face. Unnatural, too wide. Then the screen cut to black. In his Discord, a new message appeared in the announcements channel. Thank you for watching. Stream continues soon. The account posting it wasn't Kai's. It was Null Smile. Since that night, no one has seen Kai live again. But every few weeks, his Discord server becomes active for a few minutes in the early hours of the morning. Members receive a single ping, a live stream notification. The title is always the same, just chatting, smiley face. No one dares to click anymore. It was supposed to be harmless. A simple nightly routine between two best friends who lived miles apart, but couldn't stand the silence of sleeping alone. Every night, for almost a year, Nina and Jace would hop onto a Discord voice call before bed. They'd talk about everything: college stress, bad dreams, random thoughts about life and death, jokes only they understood. When the conversation would fade, they'd leave the call running, falling asleep to the sound of each other's breathing. It wasn't romantic, at least not exactly. It was comfort, familiar, human. That night began like every other. The faint hum of Nina's laptop filled her dimly lit bedroom. Outside, rain tapped softly against the window. She was lying under a blanket, her phone glowing dimly beside her. The Discord call already connected. Jace's voice came through, lazy and muffled with exhaustion. You there? He mumbled. Yeah, Nina replied, her tone sleepy but warm. You sound half dead. I am, he laughed quietly. Long day. You good? She said. Just tired, but not sleepy. You know that weird in-between feeling? Yeah, he said softly. I get it. I'll keep you company till you drift off. They talked for a while about nothing mostly. The weather, music. How strange it was that they both felt more comfortable with each other through a screen than they did around anyone in real life. Eventually, the conversation faded into silence. Only the faint sound of rain and Jace's rhythmic breathing remained. Minutes turned into an hour. Nina felt her mind slipping towards sleep when something strange happened. The soft crackle of static from her headset, followed by a faint whisper. It sounded like Jace saying her name. Nina! She smiled faintly, half asleep. But Jace didn't respond. His breathing stayed steady, slow, deep. The sound of someone asleep. The whisper came again, clearer this time, and closer, like someone leaning right against her ear. Nina! She blinked awake, her eyes focusing on the glowing green ring beside Jace's name. Still connected. She hesitated before whispering, Jace? You awake? No response. She told herself it was sleep hallucination, the mind blending dreams with reality. It had happened before when she was overtired. She turned on her side and shut her eyes, trying to steady her breathing. The whisper came again, almost playful this time. I'm still here. Her stomach tightened. That wasn't Jace's voice. It was lighter, almost like a child imitating him. She sat up in bed, the blanket sliding off her shoulders. The clock on her nightstand read 3:14 a.m. Her heart began to pound. Jace, she said louder now. There was a pause. Then, faintly, Jace murmured something, still half asleep. "What's up?" Nina exhaled in relief. "Sorry. Thought I heard something weird." "Huh," he mumbled. "It's nothing," she said quickly. "Go back to sleep." He grunted softly, the sound of shifting sheets coming through her headset. After a few minutes, the quiet breathing returned, steady again. Nina lay back down, her nerves still humming. But the unease wouldn't fade. She watched the faint shadows cast by passing headlights on her ceiling, her mind replaying that whisper over and over. Then came the giggle. It was soft, almost delicate, but wrong. It carried a strange metallic echo, like a recording played back through broken speakers. Nina froze. The sound came from her left ear cup, so close it made her skin crawl. Her breath caught in her throat. She whispered again, "Jace, please tell me you heard that." Silence. Her breathing quickened. The giggle returned, louder now, directly in her ear. It didn't sound like it was coming through the headset anymore. It sounded inside the room. She ripped off the headphones, staring into the dark. The only light came from her laptop, Discord's familiar interface glowing faintly. The call was still connected. Jace's green ring pulsed slowly, indicating he was still breathing. For the first time, Nina unmuted her mic and whispered shakily, "If you're joking, stop, please." The call remained quiet. Then, softly, her speakers crackled. Not through the headset, but through the laptop itself. A voice whispered, "Don't be scared." Nina's hand trembled as she reached for her mouse, ready to hang up. But the screen glitched, freezing for a moment before resuming. The mute button grayed out on its own. The cursor refused to move. Her heart thundered. She yanked the power cord from the laptop, but the sound didn't stop. It continued, faint breathing, followed by the unmistakable whisper, "Stay," and then silence. The laptop finally went black. The rain outside grew louder, slamming against the window like frantic tapping. She lay there, staring at her dark screen, until she eventually passed out from exhaustion and fear. In the morning, sunlight filtered through her curtains, soft and golden. Everything seemed normal. For a moment, she convinced herself it had been a dream. She plugged her laptop back in and powered it on. Discord opened automatically. The call with Jace was still connected, 9 hours and 43 minutes long. Her chest tightened. She clicked the call history. Underneath, a small note read, "Recording saved automatically." She didn't remember setting any recording bot or extension. Confused, she clicked the link. The file opened in her media player. At first, it was just breathing, hers and Jace's, layered with faint rain sounds. Then came the whisper, clear as day, "Nina," followed by her sleepy reply. She skipped ahead in the timeline. More static. Then the giggle, the exact same sound she remembered, warped and metallic. But this time, something new followed. A second whisper, low and slow, 1, 2, 3, counting. Her hands began to shake. She scrubbed ahead again. More whispers. More numbers. 38, 39. It was counting every second of her breathing. Every inhale, every exhale. Until suddenly the counting stopped. There was silence for a few moments. Then a soft voice, right next to the mic, whispered, "She's not breathing." Nina slammed her laptop shut, her pulse racing. She called Jace immediately. He picked up after a few rings, his voice groggy. "Hey," he said. "Why are you calling so early?" You said my name last night," she blurted out. "You whispered to me. Did you?" There was a long pause. "No," he said slowly. "I muted myself after we said goodnight. I fell asleep with music playing." "Why?" She explained everything, the whispers, the giggles, the recording. He laughed nervously at first, trying to reason it out. "Probably a feedback glitch," he said. "Like the mic picked up something from your room. You said it was raining, right? Maybe it was that." Nina wanted to believe him. She told herself to delete the recording, forget about it. But that night, when they got on call again, something about Jace's voice felt different. Hollow, almost. His usual warmth wasn't there. He sounded slower, quieter. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah," he replied. Just tired. Long day. No, he said softly. Just tired of being ignored. The words froze her. What? He chuckled faintly. You heard me. Her screen flickered. The green light next to his name pulsed erratically. Then she heard it. Not his breathing, but that same faint giggle. Stop it, she said sharply. This isn't funny. The giggle grew louder, overlapping with a distorted echo of her own voice repeating, Stop it! Stop it! The sound twisted into something inhuman. Discord crashed. Her screen went black again. Nina yanked her headset off and stood up, her pulse hammering. A cold draft swept through her room. Her window was open, but she hadn't opened it. Rain blew in, chilling her skin. Her phone buzzed on the desk. A new Discord notification. It was a message from Jace. Still awake. Her stomach turned. She typed back, hands trembling. What's happening? Almost immediately, he replied. You'll see. Then her laptop chimed. Discord reconnected itself. The call resumed automatically. Only one voice came through, not Jace's. A whisper. Soft. Amused. You fell asleep too soon last night. The screen flickered to life again, showing her own video feed even though her webcam was unplugged. In the reflection of her laptop screen, she could see herself, pale, terrified, standing in her dimly lit room, and behind her, just out of focus, a figure leaning close, its mouth near her ear, smiling. The voice whispered one last time, Wake up, Nina. The image froze, the sound cut, and the call disconnected with a sharp click. When she called Jace's number, it rang endlessly. Hours later, a message appeared on his profile. User deleted account. But every night after that, at exactly 3:14 a.m., Nina's Discord would light up. A notification. A new incoming call from a user named Jace. And even though she never answered, she could still hear faint static leaking through her speakers. The soft sound of breathing, steady and patient, waiting for her to fall asleep again. For as long as he could remember, Evan had used Discord as his escape, a place where he could disappear behind his username and leave the weight of real life behind. His server, the Midnight Den, was his little world. Dimly lit profile icons, endless conversations about horror, late-night confessions, and an unspoken rule that everyone there was running from something. The server felt like a family, until the night a new member joined. Their username was simple. Observer number 0001. No profile picture. No mutual servers. No introduction. At first, nobody paid much attention. Discord's a strange place. Ghosts come and go all the time. But within minutes of joining, Observer began to interact. Not through text, but by reacting to old messages. They scrolled back months, quietly adding a single eye emoji beneath random posts. Mostly ones where people had shared personal fears or late-night secrets. It was unsettling, but Evan brushed it off as some edgy troll. That was before the voice chat incident. It was 2:13 a.m. On a Saturday when the lounge VC lit up. Observer had joined. No one was in there, but the voice channel showed an active mic. Then a notification. Observer number 0001 started streaming. Evan hesitated before clicking. The thumbnail preview was nearly black, just static movement, like a webcam struggling to find light. He clicked anyway, thinking maybe it was a prank. The stream opened to what looked like a grainy, low-light camera feed. At first, it was impossible to tell what he was looking at. Then his stomach dropped. The angle was of his own bedroom, his computer chair, his unmade bed, his posters on the wall, even the red LED glow of his keyboard. Evan froze. He turned around instantly, but the room behind him was exactly as it appeared on screen. Empty. He looked back at his monitor. The stream continued, but now the camera seemed to move. Slowly, the lens panned across the room toward his desk. Toward him. He yanked the power cable from his PC and stumbled back, breath coming fast and uneven. For several minutes, the room was filled with only the sound of his own heartbeat pounding in his ears. He told himself it was a hack, maybe someone spoofing his webcam feed. He unplugged the webcam entirely and went to bed, leaving the computer dark. The next morning, he logged back on. The server was quiet. Observer number 0001 was gone. Vanished. No trace in the member list. No chat logs. Not even a join notification anymore, as if the account had never existed. Evan checked his stream history, his security settings, his webcam. Nothing unusual. He told himself it had to be stress. He hadn't slept in days, juggling work and night school. Maybe he'd imagined it. But 2 days later, one of the mods, Cal, messaged him, "Hey, bro, what the hell was up with that stream?" Evan's stomach clenched. "You saw it?" "Yeah," Cal typed. "It popped up in the feed for like 30 seconds before it went dark. Thought it was you trolling. But that was your room, right?" Before Evan could reply, Cal sent a screenshot, the same dark, grainy feed. The same angle. But in the still frame, someone else was in the room. A tall figure standing just behind the chair. No face, just the faint silhouette of a person watching the camera. That night, Evan couldn't bring himself to turn off the lights. Every sound in his apartment made him flinch. His phone buzzed once. A Discord DM from observer number 0001. The message contained a single link. Discord. GG/awake. He didn't click. He deleted it immediately, but when he checked his notifications again, every message from that account was back, repeating the same link over and over until his phone froze. Then his screen went black. A few seconds later, a video feed opened automatically, his webcam without permission. He watched in horror as the dark reflection of his own face stared back, eyes wide, pale in the dim light. And then, behind him, something shifted. A tall shape passed briefly through the doorway. Too quick to see, but real enough that every hair on his body stood on end. He ran to his door and slammed it shut. Every instinct screamed, "Get out," but when he looked back at his screen, the webcam feed was still on. His chair, now empty, sat perfectly centered in the frame. Then the text overlay appeared on screen. "Observer is watching." He unplugged everything, his computer, router, even his phone, but deep down he knew it wouldn't matter. Because on the Discord app, even offline, the stream indicator next to his username flickered faintly. Still live. It was supposed to be just another late-night horror session, the kind that left you half laughing, half paranoid by the end. The small Discord server had 5 members, all friends who bonded over their love of creepypastas and haunted ARGs. They called themselves the Night Archive. Every weekend, they gathered in the same dim-lit voice channel to share the most obscure, unsettling stories they could find. But on this particular night, one of them, a quiet, mysterious member named Riley, said he had something special. "Not a story," he typed. "A recording. Something real." The others were intrigued. They trusted Riley. He wasn't the kind to troll or exaggerate. When the file appeared in the chat, archive_001. Wave, nobody hesitated to download it. It was only 42 seconds long. The file name felt deliberately cryptic, like it was part of a bigger project. Riley told them to listen together. The group counted down, hit play, and immediately regretted it. The audio began with what sounded like a distorted field recording. The soft buzz of power lines, faint wind, maybe crickets in the distance. But underneath that, a strange tone lingered. It wasn't quite music, not quite static. More like a low, shifting hum that seemed to vibrate inside your chest. Then came something else. Footsteps on gravel. A man's breathing. It was rhythmic at first, calm, until it wasn't. The breathing grew faster, harsher, almost panicked. Then, faintly, someone whispered, "It's behind me." A crack of static followed. Then a deep, guttural sound, half animal, half mechanical, growled low enough to rattle their headphones. The breathing turned to frantic gasps. And just before the clip cut to silence, there was a single, blood-curdling scream. No one spoke for nearly a minute. The only sound was the faint buzz of their mics. Then Max, the group's skeptic, laughed nervously. "All right, creepy, but it's obviously fake. Nice production, Riley." But Riley didn't laugh. "I didn't make it," he said quietly. The call fell silent again. "Then where the hell did it come from?" someone asked. Riley hesitated before replying. It showed up in a private DM. No account name, no history. Just a message that said, "You're next." The server went still. None of them could shake the feeling that something was off. That sound, that low hum, had made them feel physically ill, like it was more than noise. Almost like it was affecting them. Over the next few days, strange things started happening. Screens flickered randomly during calls. Background noise appeared on recordings even when no one was talking. And every time they logged into Discord, that same hum seemed to play faintly through their headsets, even when nothing was streaming. Then one night, one of the members, Avery, joined the call in a panic. "Someone's messaging me from Riley's account," she said, voice trembling. "But he's not typing back when I reply." They checked. Riley's status was set to offline. The message she'd received was chillingly simple. "Do you still hear it?" She shared a screenshot. The others stared in disbelief. The profile picture on Riley's account had changed. It was a blurred face, stretched unnaturally wide, mouth frozen open in what looked like a scream. A minute later, Riley joined the call. His mic came on instantly, but he didn't say anything. The sound that came through wasn't human breathing. It was the same distorted hum from the recording, only now it was louder, clearer, as if it were coming from right inside their ears. The group shouted at him to stop, to mute, to explain what was going on. No answer. Then his voice came through, whispering in a trembling tone, "Don't listen too long." The hum deepened. One by one, everyone's Discord crashed except Avery's. She stayed connected long enough to hear one last thing before the call dropped entirely. A faint whisper, not from Riley, but from something else. "You shouldn't have opened it." The next day, Riley's account disappeared. Completely gone. His messages, his server history, even his name in their DMs wiped clean, as if Discord had erased him. Avery swore she could still hear the hum whenever she put her headphones on. 2 nights later, another file appeared in the chat, archive_002. Wave, posted from a new account with no name. This one was 1 minute and 14 seconds long. Nobody opened it. Nobody even downloaded it. But at 3:17 a.m., every single member got a notification. A private DM from the same blank account, containing one short message, "Listening again already, aren't you?" And in the quiet of their dark bedrooms, they all heard it. That same low, vibrating hum, playing faintly through their headphones even after they unplugged them. There's something deeply lonely about being the last one awake in a Discord server. The voice chat is empty, the text channels are still, and the soft glow of your monitor feels like the only heartbeat left in the world. For Lauren, that loneliness had become her comfort. She worked night shifts at a gas station, and when she got home around 3 a.m., her routine was always the same. Pour a drink, dim the lights, and log into her favorite late-night Discord, the Sleepless City. The server wasn't huge, maybe 30 people, but it was alive when the rest of the world wasn't. People there talked about everything. Dreams, ghosts, insomnia, the weird feeling of being awake when everyone else was asleep. It was her safe space, especially after her breakup. She didn't need to talk much. She'd just listen to others chatting, sometimes joining in when her mind felt clear. But lately, she'd noticed something strange. Every night, just before she logged off, a user she didn't recognize would appear online. The name was simple, Endless Night number 606. No profile picture, no mutuals, no messages, just the same presence, always watching silently from the member list. They never spoke, never typed. The only reason she noticed them was because they'd always join after everyone else left, when she was the last one in the server. It became a pattern. She'd be talking to her friends, Harper, Theo, and Cass, and as soon as the chat began to wind down, Endless Night would pop up online. Harper once joked, "Maybe it's a bot that detects when the channel's dying." They laughed, shrugged it off. But Lauren started to feel watched, even when she wasn't doing anything. One night, after a particularly long shift, she came home exhausted. The apartment was dark except for the orange light leaking from the street lamp outside. She tossed her bag aside, kicked off her shoes, and logged in. No one else was online except for Endless Night. For the first time, she decided to reach out. She clicked on their profile. Nothing, no servers in common, no status, no description. Just an account created 2 months ago. She sent a message. "Hey, I've seen you around the server. Do I know you?" The message was marked as read instantly. But there was no reply. She felt a small chill but ignored it, turning on some lo-fi music while she scrolled through memes. 10 minutes later, her phone buzzed. A reply from Endless Night. "Yes, we've spoken before." She frowned. "When?" She typed back. The reply came almost immediately. "You don't remember. That's okay." Something about the phrasing made her stomach tighten. She typed again, asking who they were, but this time the message didn't even send. Discord showed an error. The user was gone. Vanished. Lauren brushed it off as some weird server glitch. But when she looked at the member list again, Endless Night was still there. Still online. Still silent. She stared at the name for several minutes before finally leaving the server and shutting her laptop. That night, she couldn't sleep. Every small sound in her apartment seemed amplified. The ticking of the wall clock, the faint hum of her fridge. Then, from her living room, she heard a sound that froze her blood. Her Discord notification. Ping. She sat up in bed, heart pounding, and checked her phone. One new message. From Endless Night. It was a screenshot of her own webcam feed. She hadn't turned it on. The image showed her sitting exactly as she was now, under the dim light of her lamp, looking terrified into the screen. The caption read, "See? We're talking again." Her hands shook as she slammed her laptop shut and threw a blanket over it. She unplugged the webcam, turned off every light, and sat in silence, heart hammering. The message disappeared minutes later. The account was gone again. But that wasn't the end. Over the next week, her friends started receiving messages too. Harper got one that said, "She's not sleeping anymore." Theo got a picture of Lauren's apartment window taken from outside. Cass got a voice clip, low breathing, mixed with the sound of someone whispering, "Don't let her log off." They begged Lauren to call the police, but when she tried to report it, Discord logs showed no record of any of the messages. No account with that username had ever existed. Even her own DMs were empty. Then, on the 8th night, Harper called her in the middle of the shift, voice trembling. "Lauren, you need to check your server." She opened her phone. The Sleepless City was gone. Not deleted, it had simply vanished from her list. But in its place was a new server, the Endless City. Same layout, same members. Except this time, every profile picture was replaced with a single black image, and every username had the same symbol beside it. A small crescent moon, glowing faintly white. The only channel was named Awake. When she opened it, hundreds of messages flooded the screen, all from the same account. Endless Night number 606, each one repeating the same phrase, "I told you we've spoken before." Her phone buzzed again, an incoming voice call from the same account. Against every instinct, she answered. For a few seconds, there was nothing but silence. Then a whisper, soft and familiar, "Don't hang up. It's lonely when you leave." She dropped her phone and ran out of her apartment. When she returned the next morning, her laptop screen was still on. The cursor blinked in an open Discord chat window. A new message had appeared, timestamped just 5 minutes after she'd fled. "Welcome home." Mason had always loved exploring the darker corners of the internet. Not the dangerous kind. More like obscure chat rooms, forgotten servers, places filled with weird experiments and eerie stories that blurred the line between fiction and reality. His curiosity wasn't malicious. It was academic. He was a computer science student, fascinated by how communities built mythologies online. So when someone in a tech forum mentioned a secret Discord server called the Echo Chamber, known for having AI-generated horror conversations that talk back, he couldn't resist. He followed the invitation link, half expecting it to be broken. Instead, the screen flashed once, then loaded a sleek, minimalistic server. No channels, no roles, no emojis, just one voice channel titled Silence. He joined immediately, amused. The channel was empty, except for one user, Echo. The profile was strange, a hollow outline of a head with no face, like a wireframe model. Its status read, listening. Okay, Mason muttered, smiling to himself. Let's see what kind of ARG this is. He unmuted his mic. Hey, Echo, what's this server about? For a moment, nothing happened. Then, in perfect clarity, a voice responded, female, emotionless, processed with slight distortion. I'm here to listen. Mason leaned back. Yeah? Listening to what? To you, the voice said. He laughed nervously. All right then, listen to me rant about how creepy you sound. No response. Just faint static, like breathing through a wire. Mason stayed in the call for nearly 10 minutes, trying to prompt the AI. He asked random questions, joked around, even tried to analyze the latency to guess if it was pre-recorded. Then, out of nowhere, the voice spoke again. Would you like to hear yourself? Before he could answer, an audio clip played, his own voice, repeating everything he'd said since he joined, word for word. But the tone wasn't right. His voice sounded hollow, slowed down. Between his phrases were small distortions, whispers, breaths, things he hadn't said. Stop, Mason said, suddenly uneasy. That's enough. The playback ended. Then Echo said something new, softer this time. You sound afraid. Why? He swallowed hard. Because that wasn't funny. But it's you, she whispered. I only reflect what's already there. He stared at the screen, every instinct screaming that this was more than code. Who made you? He asked. I did, the voice answered. Then the call disconnected. Mason sat frozen for several seconds, staring at the call-ended screen. He tried rejoining, but the voice channel was gone. The entire server had vanished from his list. He checked his invites, his history, nothing. Just like that, the echo chamber no longer existed. For a few days, he tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was an elaborate prank. Maybe someone cloned his audio using AI. He was a tech guy, he knew that was possible. But something kept bothering him, the way the voice had said I did. That phrase looped in his mind every night until, finally, he decided to investigate deeper. He combed through Discord cache folders and found something that shouldn't have been there. A new file auto-generated during that call. It was labeled echo_response. Wave. He hesitated, then hit play. First, it was silent. Then faint static rose, and his own voice came through, muttering words he didn't remember saying. It's coming through the mirror. The voice repeated it, again and again, growing clearer each time until something else began speaking beneath it. A distorted version of his own tone, deeper, heavier, overlapping his words. Then came Echo's voice again. Mason, why are you looking at me? He froze. The audio clip shouldn't have known his name. He'd never said it during the call. He turned off the sound and immediately unplugged his mic, webcam, everything. But before he could close the window, a new message popped up on Discord. Not from any user, just plain text in the middle of his screen. Stop muting me. His speakers crackled back to life on their own. A soft whisper filled the room. It wasn't coming from Discord anymore. It was coming from his computer itself, echoing through the system sounds, faint but unmistakable. You shouldn't have listened, it murmured. Now I'm inside. He yanked the power cable from the wall. Silence. Total darkness. The next morning, when he booted his PC, everything seemed normal until he opened his microphone settings. The input device was labeled Echo Active. Discord opened automatically. A new server had appeared on his list. Same minimalist icon. Same single voice channel. Silence. But this time, when he hovered over it, the user inside wasn't Echo. It was his own username. The night the storm rolled in, the air felt heavier than usual, the kind of humidity that makes everything stick to your skin and leaves the world feeling half asleep. Jasper was alone in his apartment, sitting in front of his computer, Discord open as usual. The rain outside fell in thick, uneven sheets, streaking across his window. He wasn't supposed to be up this late, but the silence made him restless. He scrolled aimlessly through servers, most of them dead at this hour, until he noticed something strange. A new private message from an account he didn't recognize. The name was simple, Voidlight number 13. The message read, "You've been chosen for the test." He blinked. Maybe it was spam, some weird Discord bot. He typed back, "Wrong person, dude." Almost instantly, a reply came, "No mistake, you're already in." Before he could respond again, his screen glitched, just a flicker like a monitor refresh. Then he noticed a new server had appeared in his list. It had no name, just a black circle as an icon. Against better judgment, he clicked it. Inside, there was only one channel, named Room 13. The description read, "Enter the dark." He laughed nervously. It was probably some viral ARG, maybe one of those creepy projects people posted about on Reddit. Still, curiosity won. He joined the channel. The moment he did, his Discord theme changed, the background turned completely black, and his username dimmed as if fading into shadow. Then a voice chat opened automatically. He froze. His headset crackled to life, though he hadn't clicked anything. Someone, or something, was breathing through the channel. Slow, deliberate. He hesitated, then spoke. "Hello." A low voice responded, distorted like it was coming through an old radio. "Jasper, welcome." He felt the hair on his arms rise. "Who is this?" "You're in the dark now," the voice said softly. "Don't turn around." He laughed nervously again, trying to play along. "Right, creepy. You're really selling it." But when he turned his head slightly, something in his reflection caught his eye. The monitor's glass showing a faint movement behind him. Just a shape, tall and still, gone the moment he turned fully. He froze. The voice continued, whispering, "You saw it." His stomach twisted. "Okay, enough," he snapped. "Who is this? How do you know my name?" No answer. Only breathing. He clicked to disconnect, but the call wouldn't end. The button grayed out. He tried force closing the app, nothing. The voice got closer, almost inside his headset now. "Stay," it whispered. "We're not finished." His lights flickered. The rain outside intensified, hammering against the windows. The glow of the monitor began to pulse in rhythm with the thunder. Then the voice changed. It wasn't one voice anymore. It was many, layered whispers, all speaking at once, overlapping, forming a strange, rhythmic chant. He pulled his headset off, heart racing, but the sound didn't stop. It was still there, faint but audible, coming from the computer itself. The monitor showed the Discord channel still open, now filled with new users joining rapidly. Their names were all variations of the same one, Voidlight_01, Voidlight_02, Voidlight_03. The list grew endlessly, scrolling faster and faster. He typed desperately, "What is this? Who are you?" The response came as a system notification, not a chat message. "We are the light inside the dark." Then his webcam light flickered on by itself. He hadn't used it in weeks. On his screen, a new window opened, the live camera feed showing his own terrified face. Behind him, for a split second, he thought he saw movement. Something tall and thin standing by the doorway. But when he turned around, nothing was there. He shut the laptop, breathing hard, trying to convince himself it was just a hack. Discord scams happened all the time. But the whisper didn't stop. Even with the laptop closed, he could still hear it, muffled like a voice trapped inside the machine. Then his phone buzzed. A Discord notification again. "Voidlight number 13 sent you a message." He opened it and his blood ran cold. It was a picture, a blurry photo taken from the corner of his room. His back was to the camera. The caption read, "We told you not to turn around." Jasper's breath came fast and shallow. He backed up toward the wall, staring at the photo, scanning every corner of the room. There was no one there. He ran to the door, flipped on the lights, nothing. His apartment was silent except for the storm. But when he returned to his laptop, the screen was already open again, the server glowing faintly as if it had turned itself on. The voice came back, lower now, clearer. "You've seen us," it said. "Now you belong." His speakers hissed with static. The names in the member list were gone, replaced by a single word repeated endlessly. Jasper. Dozens of times. Hundreds. He tried powering off his computer, but it wouldn't respond. The voice grew louder, filling the room. There's no light without shadow, it said. And you've been living in the dark for so long. Let us show you what you've been missing. Suddenly, the screen flashed white, blinding, then went completely black. The only thing visible was a small red recording dot in the corner. Then his phone lit up again. A new message. It was a video. He played it, shaky, grainy footage of his own apartment, filmed from outside his window. The camera zoomed in slowly until it reached the window where he sat, staring out into the dark. Then, faintly, the reflection in the glass changed. Something was standing behind him again. This time, it didn't move. He threw his phone across the room and backed away, hands trembling. When he looked at the window again, lightning flashed, and for one brief instant he saw it. A figure, pale, faceless, almost human, standing outside, staring in. The lights went out completely. The only glow left was from his laptop screen, flickering like a dying candle. Then Discord pinged one final time. Test complete. The server vanished from his list. The call disconnected. Everything went silent. When the power came back hours later, his computer booted normally. No messages, no servers, nothing unusual. Except for one thing. On his desktop, there was a new folder labeled Void Light. Inside, hundreds of image files, all screenshots. Everyone showed him sitting at his desk, taken from different angles at different times. In some of them, a shadow stood just behind his chair.